Right. I think we're ready to roll. We can mute that rat-a-tat tune. Give me a thumbs up if the audio's sounding good now, please. If not, let me know so I can do something.
Let us know if we're getting any delay over
Got
here.
like 3 phones in operation right now. Yeah, seems like we're good. What I'm going to do is I've got a little bit of echo.
Yeah, you gotta.
I do not know how.
Gotta mute one of those, partner.
Yo. All right, let's put away. Alrighty then. And who's excited about this first ever reverse AMA happening on Twitter?
What up?
What up? Okay, my phone keeps locking. We've got like 3 phones in activation right now. Elon Musk, please do something about this because this is the easiest way of operating. But come one, come all. I'm excited to have a great session. This is usually a Discord thing. First time we're trying it on Spaces, but this is what you've all been asking for, Mr. NFTs in particular. So hope to hear some friendly voices today. It's got to be an interactive session, or we're not going to make the most of it. We're going to take it back to Discord. So if you don't speak, we're taking this back to Discord. So it's your
right now is the day to do it, guys.
Now's the day to let your voice be heard. So let me hear some emoji. Let me see some emojis in the chat at least, because we can't see any emojis in Discord. Let me see some love hearts. If you love West, show me some love hearts.
Let's go.
There you go. At least 2 people love you, West. At least 2 people love you, West.
I appreciate that. I'll take what I can get, man.
Fair enough. All right. Well, you know what to do. Like, retweet, and comment. Commenting actually seems to be the meta right now. So comment on it. Tell everybody to join the shit, and let's get it rolling. I think the new meta is also making your account private, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not one to follow the herd mentality. So I will not be going on private, although I do live a very private life. Host for this afternoon, you've got Skyhopper and Obi Bunkanobi, aka Wesley Snipes.
I'll take it.
Aka Mr. Steal Your Girlfriend. Any other AKAs?
Nah, I think that's all I got.
That's it. All AKAs. El Duderino. Wesley Snipes out there sniping feet pics by the caseload. Anyway, we've got a special guest with us today. A member of our community has hopped into the studio, holds 27 NFTs. I'm not sure you're going to be able to guess who, but we've got him in the house right now. So we're showing you, if you're a community member, if you're OG holder, you can come in and see what we're doing live in the flesh. So say what up, NFTs.
Hey guys, how are you? This studio is absolutely incredible. You guys want to visit this place.
There you go. There you go. Did you get yourself written into the movie script?
Of course.
There you go. There you go. Are you using the name NFTs?
Yeah, I might have to change it.
Yeah. All right. So Art and NFTs is in the house. All you community members, all you OGs, everybody who's active in the Discord definitely knows this guy's name. Definitely seen this guy about, and I've always been a massive help. So big shout out to you, NFTs, and was one of the individuals that actually suggested we take this to Twitter too. So, yeah, let's see how we go. Anyway, for today's session, there's a few outline agendas. This right project update. We had a live stream last week, and we've given you kind of a detailed rundown of where we're at. But let's have a recap now. We're on Twitter too, and anybody else who's listening in can hear about how great we are. Topics for discussion. So, like on every session, I kind of want to have a topic that we discuss as a group. Stuff that's kind of aching to your heart as well. So today I want to discuss value for OG holders. This comes up a lot with ultimately what's going to be a free-to-play game. You know, how will you ensure value for the OG holders? You know, and I want to flip the script here. We've got a ton of things we're working on to ensure you've got great value. And I'm not going to give away the alpha for any other projects to come and hear that, by the way. So this is about what you want. So I want to hear from you all as OG holders. What is value to you? What should we do to make you feel like we're maintaining the value for OG holders? And what should we not do? So you're going to need to come off mute and talk to us.
You're going to have to speak up.
You're going to have to speak up today. You talk about it a lot in Discord, but I want to hear your voices. And then final part of the session, I want ideas time. So a bit of a jam session for any ideas, whether it be, you should have a laser beam weapon, or, you know, any perks, lore, content, token 6, whatever it might be. It's an opportunity to bring them to the table. And by the way, 6967, man, I'm going to request to speak as well. Let's get you in the house as well. So offer to speak. You're part of the team too, brother. So get your ass up here. All right. Okay. Cool. I hope everybody's happy with that agenda. Give me the fist. I like the fist. No, I don't like taking fists, but there's like put up a fist in the air. All right, cool. So I mean, talking about fists like that, who saw the leak from the Rogue Jumpers animatic? So the Rogue Jumpers short is fucking looking incredible. Sorry for swearing. Hopefully that doesn't mess up our engagement. You know what? That gave me like proper goosebumps, West. Honestly, it's like.
I mean,
And then I was like, dude, I'm sure I've seen these scenes in Rocky Four. So then I watched the Rocky Four training montage after. It's got the thing with the injection. It's got the wires. It's got the one where he punches.
It's the Russians.
The Russian, yeah, Ivan Drago. So yeah, if you've not already checked that out, that's a sneak peek. Obviously, that's going to be turned into a fully animated piece, kind of similar to the Bunners one. Obviously, completely different theme, but we are doing a little short for each of the factions. It does take a hell of a lot of time to do it, by the way. So
Big shout out to Camouflage Talent, aka Two Hop Shakur, as well.
Where is he?
For that track that he's been working on.
Yeah. So you. Oh, by the way, I'm going to give you some alpha. So the track for Rogue Jumpers is going to be Two Hops, obviously, on it, but I've got the third verse on it. So you're going to hear Skyhopper rap. Yeah, trust me, I'm up there. I'm up there with the best. I was touted to be one of the best UK rappers of all time. All right, where am I? I'm still here, and I still think I am. So let's see. So let's see who you think who has the best verse on that track. All right, cool. So I think we kick off. All right, so let's start with updates, and we probably covered a lot of this last week, but I'm going to deliver it again. So yeah, we've been closing out the token round for carrots. We've been doing the token round for carrots and litrons. That's closed out now. Bar some final allocations, still working this way through paperwork, etc. Token round was set up as a 25 million fully diluted valuation FDV against each token in the which has been successful. So there you go. Big round of applause to the team here. There was a 12% allocation for partners, which is where that allocation comes from. So it doesn't come from anywhere else, and we've not gone over that as it stands. So if you look back to the orange paper, there was that allocation there for partners. So that's almost pretty much closed out, bar some bits of paperwork as it stands. So something a particular note here in regards to the carrot token, it's going to be a huge milestone for this year, massive milestone. We need to really kind of get it right and push it out with the right kind of marketing campaign and partners behind it. But big shout out to all the partners involved. The really kind of, we've been looking to get really kind of smart individuals who are really kind of hands-on in kind of helping, mold this, not for themselves, not for their own purposes, but to actually be a very sustainable product and game over the course of many years to come. So, we're in a great place with that. Things to note on the token, and when we release the next kind of orange paper, I'm going to have individual sessions on this to run through stuff in more detail. But the only emissions at this point are going to be the partner tokens and tokens from claims for holders soft staking when the token generation event goes live. So, as we know, partner tokens will be on a vesting schedule, and the tokens that you're soft staking for right now will likely, come out during token generation event. So that's the only emissions as it stands. There've been a lot of individuals who've been asking, will we do a kind of a pre-sale for the community in OG? We've not made a decision on that as of yet. We originally were not going to. I'm not saying we're not going to do that, but that's something still kind of up for consideration and to work through. So we'll work through that too. I know a lot of you individuals, are staking, so you're going to be good. A lot of you individuals want to actually buy some tokens as well in advance. So let's revisit that in the next few weeks. But that's something we can kind of work through. So yeah, really, really kind of happy with how that's going. When we update the orange paper and website, the details about who's come on board into the token round will be on there, and you'll understand who they are, what they've done before, and why they're really important to what we're doing. And like I said, some really kind of solid, strategic, smart people and partners, who are really invested in the success of MPH over the course of time, and not just for a quick pump. Okay. The other thing that I think we covered was we've got two big partnerships to be announced. Really, really big partnerships. One massive in the crypto space. The other one, a massive household name. Not Applebee's, but just to be very clear, in case anybody actually thought we were partnering with Applebee's, that was a bit of a joke. But yeah, it does begin with an A. So if that, and we've got another one that we're working through as well. It's a bit of, it's going to be, it's a bit of a curveball. I mean, if that one works, and we're still in early stages of that. That's like a pure Empire Strikes Back. I'm your father, Luke moment, isn't it? That's like the biggest freaking no, what do you call it? Twist ever.
Yeah, that was yeah.
Come here, man. Why are you sitting all the way back there, relaxing like you're on a
No, no,
you're in
no, no,
Hawaii,
no.
man, on a
So
freaking
what you guys,
armchair.
what you all can't see right now is like I've got my lower back just kind of seized up on me, so I was like
Yeah.
stretching all over the floor as we're getting this thing kicked off. So I'm doing good. I'm just trying to find the right position for myself. But yeah, you know what? Yeah,
Wesley's fresh out of the dentist. He just had all his teeth cleaned.
Yeah, feels good.
Some alpha.
Yeah, some alpha for everybody. No, so yeah, we can't comment on that discussion that's going on right now in detail, but we've got something cool.
Yeah, it will be a twist.
It will be a bit of an Emperor Strikes Back moment for
Yeah,
sure.
it will
So,
be. Also,
I gotta say,
as we mentioned, we are still in the process of redesigning the website with more functionality and to be more product centric and have more Web3 integration. So a lot going on. Something else that obviously we've been working through is the Zuckbot contract migration. That's actually ready to go, but it can be deployed tomorrow. But I'm just going to make sure that we fully tested on that.
just want to make sure that everything's
As a worst case, it might be early next week. Then that's just purely to give it some additional testing. So we will give you a bit more information on that. I had a call with OpenSea 2 days ago. On Tuesday, they're willing to lend a hand to anything too. So we now. We had a great chat with OpenSea actually. They're doing some really cool stuff. So we've got a solid contact over there. We've got an open Slack channel with them too for anything also. So could see some future things happening with OpenSea also. So a big shout out to them for reaching out and getting involved with us. Yeah. So what else? What else? What else? What else? All firmed up for GDC. We will be sharing a booth with one of our new partners, and maybe two, and we're also going to have our own booth as well. So that's been confirmed now. So booths on booths on booths. So hopefully MPH will be. There's going to be a lot of marketing around MPH there as well.
Yeah,
so
big time.
you're gonna see us splashed all over the place on like big graphical campaigns.
Yeah.
Across the floor, and hopefully we'll be at a minimum of two booths, maybe three. So if you are going to be out there, come show some love. This is going to be huge for showcasing our technology and game, and it's also kind of huge for networking too. There's going to be a lot of powerful players out there, and I think they're going to love what we're doing.
As we had mentioned before, this is one of our first real debuts, amongst a much wider and kind of more established gaming community. So to be a part of that, I think is actually really special, and want to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward and kind of taking it by storm. So if you're there, please come over, say what up.
Okay, yeah, bring your hoodies. We'll definitely make sure we've got some merch there over as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm talking about merch. I think the tie dye. There's been some questions around the tie dye. So the tie dyes are on a batch process. So I believe in the next couple of weeks that's going to be closing, and that's when they'll start to ship all that out. So you've got a couple of weeks left if you still want that tie dye set, and you want to look like the coolest kid in school. Although most of us don't go to school anymore, and we're a bit older.
But when I did go to school, I wore tie dye.
Oh, did you? Sure. I mean, all right, fair enough. I mean, I can't remember if I must have had one. Yeah, I probably had one tie-dye T-shirt back in my days, to be honest with you.
No,
you can't really get in California. You could probably get away with
for
it.
Sure,
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, California's a tie-dye kind of place, and
generally,
the occasional Grateful Dead concert. Yeah, definitely.
Fair enough. All right. So if you're keen on that tie dye, I think there's a couple of weeks left on that, and then it'll all get batched up and kind of sent across. What else? Game development's going really well. I think we're almost at parity with the old version, but using the new architecture, which kind of like improves it massively.
Yeah.
So now we're going to start to kind of build up a few extra elements from there. You've been seeing some cool leaks with the UI, cool leaks with the animation, design, etc. So yeah, let's. I don't know if Sir Sweetness is here, but let's make sure. Let's keep putting the pressure on Sir Sweetness to give out those leaks. And actually, I've been getting a couple of questions about what's going on with the mobile game. And as me and at NFTs. What's the number NFTs? 1157. NFTs hashtag 1157 came into the studio earlier. Actually, this is another holder benefit. We'll tell you what the holder benefit is. We were going past one of the workstations and we had a bit of a sneak peek at some of the new developments in the mobile game. It's looking really good. So I want to definitely kind of get some more sneak peeks out on that. As we've mentioned, a lot of the priority right now is getting ready this Alpha 2.0, getting it ready for GDC, getting it ready for the community. I believe in the next week, it's going out, an early version of Alpha 2.0. It's going to go out to the testing group. So Beto, Mr. 6967, is going to be leading on that with his team over there. So that's cool. That's exciting. But we will get you some more stuff out on that. But that's where the focus is right now. The focus is really hard on all hands on deck on getting this game done. So the mobile stuff's still working on. It's not on the back burner per se, but it's slow. It's not taking priority over the actual rabbit hole game. I don't mean slow as in that, but that's where the priority is right now, and that's a really important priority that we really kind of get that right, because that is essentially our core product for My Pet Hooligan. It's also the core product that showcases the technology suite that sits behind it as well. So yeah, really cool stuff happening. Lots of other stuff happening. I'm not going to go over everything, and also if we still want some beats and music for the mixtape too, even the game actually. So if you're a producer and want to get some music out to us, let's make it happen, people. 6967, you're in the house right now. Say hello.
Yo. Doing super well. Actually, I remember a story, Skyhopper, after your wonderful telling there. I remember once you told how committed you are to this. Now I can openly say that I'm very committed to this project as well, because the other day, I think it was yesterday, according to my sleep schedule, I got asked in the kind of back to esports and coaching a national team in Overwatch, and I passed it on. I declined it because I'm so fucking committed into this. I'm so excited into what we are creating, what we are crafting, and I've kind of left esports a bit behind, even though I still have those influencer contacts and I know hundreds of like really hardcore gamers and streamers and so on. But I think this is the next step where gaming is going. I kind of see the decline in esports actually right now. Esports, it's like, even in Web3, obviously it's not the same, but like there's a lot of talk about it, and the hype just isn't there in the same way anymore. But gamers are craving for experiences like what we are creating. Gamers are craving for IPs like we are creating. I think this is just going to be an ecosystem that can take similar kind of hype in the future, launching new products than what Hogwarts Legacy has right now. I'm not sure how many people here follow the gaming scene actively, but it's something really hyped like for the early month. But I think towards the end of the year, that's going to be our game, because everyone is going to be talking about this. This is going to be something so different. It's not just the IP alone. Like, obviously the IP is exciting, but the game concept we have is something you have not witnessed in traditional gaming, and gamers are going to be like jaws open, jaws on the fucking floor, looking like, what is this new fresh thing these guys are creating? I must test this.
Let's go 6967. We might have to hold off on the swearing these days, by the way. Although I do it myself, just in case we get demonetized.
Nah, fuck that, man. We're good.
Let's go. Right, we're back on it. This is adults only.
Appreciate you, 6967, as always.
Yeah, dude. All right, so just to be clear here, if you do want to speak, if you've got anything you want, if you've got any questions, you're gonna have to come off mute. You're gonna have to request to speak so I can bring you up
and raise your hand. Yeah.
And raise your hand. This next session is all about speaking, because I'm not going to say anything. So if nobody speaks, there's going to be absolute silence in here, and we're just going to listen to some Rocky Phone music. So this is what you've all been waiting for, right? So get ready to speak. So this is the topic for discussion. I think I've covered the updates I want to cover. Topics for discussion is value for OG holders. So, with ultimately, as I said before, ultimately the rabbit hole will be a game that people users can consume for free. So it will be a free-to-play game. And something that comes up, and something that individuals from the community often worry about is, what does that mean for OG holders? I kind of want to flip the script here, and we've got some great ideas we're working through in your further idea boards about how we're going to ensure and maintain the value for OG holders. In fact, on the way here, I was discussing some of this stuff with NFTs who love some of those ideas, and was also kind of giving feedback on other ideas as well. So I want to flip the script here, because I'm not going to give out all the alpha here. I'm not going to tell everybody else how to do this, who's listening in, other projects, etc., because we do have to keep some stuff close to our chest. But I want to know what you all here, and many of you are OG holders, what is it that you will feel will make we're maintaining value for you, and what should we not do? So this is a question to you. This is supposed to be a reverse AMA. This is an opportunity for you all to speak to us and tell us how you feel, and tell us what you want or what you don't want. So who's the first brave individual that wants to jump on?
I'm going to say, if Mr. NFTs, if you want to jump in here, buddy.
Yeah, Mr. NFTs is going to jump in.
Okay, cool.
Put you on the spot.
No, not on the spot at all. So I think one thing that the community has been kind of worried about is that you guys are going to allow people to create and buy laser eyes. That kind of
interesting.
and gold fur and the kind of the top, the absolute pinnacle of what we would classify as our NFTs right now. So that's a big concern that the community has definitely been spreading, that they don't want to see people be able to buy laser eyes and that with in-game tokens or whatever is being used.
Yeah. So let me just recap on that. I actually have had that on my notes here. So what we're saying is we're going to have a marketplace, but we want to protect some of the OG traits and accessories. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can confirm that we're most definitely going to do that. So the OGs are the OGs. We're not intending to any of those traits make them available for kind of free to play players. So laser eyes in particular, any of those rare traits and accessories are stuff that is reserved for the OGs. The OGs will be different to the free to play players. There'll always be some form of able to distinguish the difference. So on that front, I can hopefully give you the confidence that you guys are protected on that. Just to kind of spitball some other stuff that I've been hearing, or stuff that you might be thinking of whilst individuals are kind of coming up to bat to speak, is other questions are, will free-to-play players have some earning potential, or will it just be OG players? Yeah, potentially, but we don't foresee any earnings or farmings, people just kind of logging into kind of farm that are free-to-play players. Right. If there is an earning potential for free-to-play players, it's going to be on really kind of high competitive gameplay, and not just come and log in and farm the system. That's definitely not what we're going to do. That's definitely lessons that have been learned in other games, and that definitely doesn't work. And that's why a lot of people are not necessarily for play and earn gaming, because that does not work in itself. Now, that might not be the case for OG holders. And so we've got some real great ideas around that, but I'm not going to give out all the alpha today. NFTs, you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, I think one big thing that the OGs want to see is being able to rent your hoolie. So allow people, I mean, some of us have like 3, some of us have 20, some people have 100. You can't play on those for many hours of the day. You wouldn't have any part of the day left. So they want to be able to see the OGs be able to be rented out, and maybe some sort of a marketplace where you can set, I've got a laser paintball, and Lovebug does, and she goes, well, I want to take 70% of any carrots that this generates per day, whereas someone with maybe a floor hoolie might be able to go, okay, I'll take 40% of the carrots. So it's allowing people to set their own prices, set a marketplace for that.
Cool stuff. All right, so that's interesting. And that kind of leads me on to another thing is that comes up is, and this is again something big in this discussion is, will OGs be able to earn through the creator economy and kind of sell stuff they've created as well? And that's definitely something we've been working on and want to see success in there, is actually give you all the opportunity against, potentially, as the game develops and grows, we're going to have a huge user base here. We're going to have a huge amount of millions of users playing this game. It's an opportunity for OGs and OGs and creators to actually contribute to the game as well.
It's one of the things
and actually benefit.
Thanks, NFTs.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm probably most excited for is that content creation and those abilities for holders to earn from content creation. I feel like there's a lot that we've got on the board right now, and how to implement that. something that's actually just kind of like just fuels my excitement, just thinking about the long-term implications of the game and their earning potential for holders.
Yeah, exactly, and that's really important. There's also going to be loads of other benefits as well, and loads of ways for you to actually use the benefits you've earned within the game as well for fun. Like a massive part of this is the social aspect as well, and we don't want to kind of steer away from that and just be a pure kind of competitive game. Like we do understand there's individuals who want to explore, have fun, socialize in the game. So there's going to be a lot of incentives for that too. Hefner, you've got your hand raised. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to say, been watching the project for a long time. I'm not in the project yet. It kind of missed me, and then it got too high for me, but I'm going to be jumping in. I've been following you guys for a long time, and I really love the art. I love the concept, love everything behind what you guys are doing. My question is based around the game itself. And I wanted to know, I know you mentioned that it's going to be on mobile. Is this going to be in a broader place, let's say like PC or game consoles? And also, people that own the character, whatever NFT that they bought or however many they have, are um, are they going to obviously be able to use their character in the game, but will they be able to rent out their character for somebody else that maybe wants to use their character to play with? That was my questions. I'm going to get off the stage now.
Right, great question, sir. And you, dude, consider yourself part of the community.
Absolutely,
you've taken time out to jump on this AMA. You're asking questions. You're getting involved. You are part of the community, so you are a hooligan, right? So appreciate you being here. First off, okay. So let me break that down. Let me start with the latter question, which will you be able to use your hooligans in the game? Yeah, you already can. So every single hooligan from our collection, there's 8,888 OG hooligans, are all playable in game right now in the alpha. You will spawn in as your own character. It'll come with all the weapons and accessories it has in the PFP in the actual game. So that's already done. And you know what? I was thinking about it. Not a lot of games have even done that yet. So we're already there with that. So that's one of the first things we did. They're also all available in all of our creator tools, Hooligram and IMI too. So you can actually create content with them, your individual hooligan. The second part of the question, let me jump back on. So one of the things you probably missed is we've got two games in parallel being worked on here. We've got the Rabbit Hole game, which is the My Pet Hooligan, the big, huge product that we're developing with all the tools behind it, and we do have a mini BattleBots game. So the BattleBots game is what will probably be our first mobile outing. It'll be a smaller game where you can essentially take your Zuckbots, which we did have a mint for probably a few months ago, and actually start to battle them and rank up and accessorize, configure, and kind of have matches in sort of like a BattleBots arena. If you remember any of the old TV shows in the UK, it was called, what was it called in the UK? Robot Wars or something. Yeah, something like Robot Wars. I can't. What's it called in the US?
BattleBots.
BattleBots. Yeah. So that's kind of like our first mobile outing. The Rabbit Hole game is currently in development and we've got an alpha already out. 1.1 version a few months ago. It's currently in development on PC and Mac. What we are doing is that will also. We have started to develop for the consoles as well, but that'll be later on in the year that we'll start to see some of the early demos on consoles, and that will also be coming to mobile. What we actually did is we launched an alpha a few months ago, which all the community have access to. And if you want to get in there, Hefner, we can get you into. So just give us a shout, give us a wallet address, and we'll give you some access to that.
Yeah, happy to get
You'll spawn in as a generic hooligan, but we then kind of rebuilt the whole game over the course of the last few months to make it more portable to different formats, to make it smoother, more optimized, more future-proof. Exactly. So over the last few months, we've literally stripped the game apart and rebuilt it to where we've got to now, and we're starting to add some additional bits on it. That's called Alpha 2.0, and that's what we've got penned to come out over at GDC. Which is around mid to late March.
Yeah.
There will be an earlier version of that available to our testing group in the next couple of weeks, and probably even earlier than GDC for the community too. So we're already kind of, well into development. We've already got playable alphas already out there. And, we do have a plan to take it even wider than PC and Mac and to consoles and mobile too. Hope that answers the question.
Yeah, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. I'm driving now, but we'll continue on until I get home, and then I'm gonna try and find a hooligan I like, and then I'll see you guys in the Discord. I'll send you a message. I'll DM you. You want
Yeah.
me to DM you through Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter or Discord, that's fine. If you have a hooligan, you'll be able to get in the game without DMing me. But if you don't and you just want to try it out, just give us a shout and we'll get you right in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the easiest access is to also we do have a companion collection of Zuck bots out there. You could get one of those, and that gives you access to the game as well.
Yeah.
And those Zuck bots, those Zuck bots.
Go ahead.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I was going to say those Zuckbots are what will kind of be the main characters in the mobile game we're developing, the mini game, the battle bots, and also later on, not initially, but they will later on be brought into the Rabbit Hole game as your little companion to kind of help you out. So there's a big plan for the Zuckbots also. So yeah, a lot going on. But everything we do has a massive purpose within the ecosystem, within the build, within the playability of the game, and within the lore too.
Most definitely. Thank you so much for answering those questions. I got one more before I go, this is actually, like I said, I've been following you guys since the beginning, since the mint, and I always see the Pet Hooligans, the guy talking, and it's the characters moving, and the mouth is moving, and motion, all kinds of cool things are happening. Do you guys have plans? And I'm sure this probably might have been asked already, but pardon me if it has been. But do you guys also have plans to do an animated series, something that's based around the Pet Hooligans? Because I personally think it would be a good look. And that's it. And then you could kick me off the stage. I greatly appreciate it, guys.
I'm not going to be so rude to kick you off, but you're the only speaker we've got right now.
Funny you should ask about the series and feature IP.
Funny you should ask, because we've got we're blessed with a studio full of really really talented creators, designers, script writers,
game engineers,
movie producers. Our CTO and.
Maybe just a little backstory too for you. So our studio, AMGI Studios, that created My Pet Hooligan, is fundamentally a filmmaking and animation technology company. So we have our chief creative officer, Colin Brady, is an ex-Pixar alumni, and he had primarily focused on real-time animation technologies and pipelines, and that got us to the Unreal Engine, that got us into game development, and yada yada yada. Anyway, so point is that we have, we've got a team already focused on high quality cinematics and storytelling and such. So that's been part of this IP from the beginning, and it's definitely a core component of our strategy as far as building out this IP long term. It's in our DNA. So besides game development, we're very devoted to bringing this out in an entertainment, kind of more traditional entertainment distribution as well.
Yeah, so the TLDR there is yes. So we are working on that, and you can see some taste of that within the shorts we're doing. We're always committed to kind of developing out the lore. So we've got various kind of sagas going on. We've got the general kind of Hooli videos and social commentary and Hooli news going on. So we're always building that. We're always building on the characters, and there's a lot of our community that we've been working on a film script for My Pet Hooligan. There's a lot of community members who are actually featured in the film scripts, and a few that have actually been featured in some of the shorts we've been doing as well. And you can see all those on Twitter. We are going to start to get our YouTube popping as well soon, and start to get those out in kind of higher quality. So there's a few different kind of flavors of stuff we create. There's the keyframe stuff, which is the really kind of polished stuff, and then there's also the kind of stuff we do on the motion capture stage that we've got here, which is more of the stuff you'd normally kind of see on Twitter. We are a very fast, if not probably one of the fastest animation studios in the world. So we are able to really kind of take a concept to an animation to a product very quickly. And that kind of shows. I think to date, we've probably done over 120 animated videos since Mint, right? Within the last year.
Yeah.
And that's, and not to say anything about any of the projects, but most projects probably drop one every 3 months or 6 months. It's because that's a core part of a core part of how we and our characters express themselves. That's a core part of the product. We've delivered content creation tools to all our community for them to be able to develop their own shorts and little features.
Those,
So that's what we want to promote. We're creators at heart, and thankfully we've got a studio jam packed with very, very experienced individuals. Individuals that have worked on the likes of Toy Story. What else?
Toy Story, Incredibles, Dog on Trouble,
Dog on Trouble, Spider-Man,
I mean,
a whole host of stuff.
Ton of
Hulk, Spider-Man, yeah. So Colin's got a very solid background.
It's not just Colin.
It's not just Colin,
It's so many people in this building. I mean, Kevin Johnson's worked on some amazing properties. But and also, I think our ability to make content is one of our. I mean, it's a big positional advantage that we hold. The fact that we can make stuff fast, we can write and iterate fast. It's something that we, again, it's in our DNA, so it's something that we're constantly pushing.
Yeah. So every time we put out a video, definitely comment on it, like it, and share it. The more love we get, the more energy we're going to put into it. But
absolutely.
if we don't, we're still going to put energy into it because we're not those kind of people that just stop. Luke, do you want to say hello?
Sure.
There you go. We got Luke Paglia, the CEO of COO of AMGS Studios. He sat there quietly on his laptop, and I thought, what an opportunity to bring this geezer over. Talk to us, Luke.
Hello, everybody. Good to be here. There's a crazy echo going on with this thing, but I don't think everybody else can hear it, so it doesn't matter.
5 phones.
But good to be here. I just kind of popped in here last minute to listen to the tail end of this, but. How's it been going? What are we doing here today?
Been going well. We're doing reverse AMA, so everybody who's part of the community knows we have a formal live stream every 2 weeks with our panel. So we do have a few members of the team on there. It's live stream on YouTube every 2 weeks. But the community asks that we start to do a more regular reverse AMA where we can actually hear from the community, hear their thoughts, hear any ideas or any concerns they have, and kind of be more of a platform to give the community
I love it. And I'm playing a little dumb. I know this is the reverse AMA. I know we're doing it on a new platform here, so excited to try this out on Twitter, see how it goes. But kind of going back to what you guys have been talking about, what we've been able to build at the studio is not just we started out as an animation company and bringing game developers, animators together. But since then, we've really blasted off into the stratosphere with all kinds of different new pieces of technology that we're creating, with also the ability to bring new IP into the market that's powered by this technology. And it's a movement that's happening here. Yes, we have an amazing game coming out. We have awesome community with all of you who support it. But you'll look back at this time saying, "Damn, remember when Hooligans and AMJ was just that that little studio that was getting on Twitter and doing these kinds of reverse AMAs and all that stuff when it was only a couple hundred people in the room, and look where they are now." So we're here to build this thing together. We always listen to your feedback. We always keep things going with you guys. So really couldn't express how much we appreciate the continued support and love for what we got going on here, because it keeps us fired up.
All right, but so just back to the topic of discussion, which was kind of value for OG holders. I want to hear some more input from you all here as OG holders. So this is your opportunity. I do know there's been a couple of requests to speak, and NFTs can see them on his phone, but I can't. So if you have requested to speak, cancel it and re-request, please.
Hellraiser, maybe leave the spaces and join back in.
Hop back in.
There's 5 of us around this phone, by the way. Yo, have some. What up, dude?
Have some.
Hope you're well. Okay, cool. Have some. You want to jump on? Are you playing Call of Duty?
One of the cool things too, while we're waiting here, you guys should get some, we should get some, not just microphones, but what's the Jeopardy music that, as we're waiting for people.
Yeah, have some in the house.
What up, have some?
And hopefully, all right, they're coming through now. I've got have some, and I've got Daniel Worrell. Okay, you guys are coming up. You are in the house. Yo, have some. How you doing, man? And have some's a really really solid individual, really vocal as well, a really good advocate for the OG holders and for the community. So have some, man. Have you got any words for us today?
What's up? Super excited. Can't wait to see what's coming next.
Good stuff, good stuff. And have some when you're coming out to the studio. We've got NFTs in the house today.
Josh, do you really? Anytime, man. Anytime. You tell me when, I'll be there.
Good stuff, good stuff. All right, I'll have some. I don't know if you just joined now or, you've got any kind of input, but, we've given a bit of an update of where we're at, and I kind of wanted to open up the floor to individuals from the community, because we've been hearing some, talk about OG holders with the game being a free-to-play game, how will we be protected? We've gone through some of those things, and we've got some huge things we're working on in the background that I don't want to give the alpha out to anybody who's listening that isn't part of the community or part of the game team right now. And this is a very public forum. I don't want them to steal my ideas, basically. So the question is to the community, like, what will make you feel that you are getting the max value, and what are the things you don't want to see happen? That's my question to you all. We've got the NFT Ant here as well. We've got Daniel as well. Anybody?
Yeah, we got Carrots.
We got Carrots. We got Traders. Anyone who wants to jump in. This is an opportunity for you all here. Carrots, let's go.
Yo, what's up? Carrots here. Same as the NFT Ant, I guess. Hope you guys are all doing well. I just hopped in, so I was pretty late. But I'm curious. I think something that would be helpful to me, and I think other people, as like the NFT space is pretty speculative usually, would be a little bit more concrete dates on when stuff is coming out. I think just like if people can plan around that, it creates less speculation. I know in any gaming team that stuff's always super I guess like malleable in the sense that it might get pushed back. But I think like a little bit more concrete dates would be super exciting because people can start to mentally kind of plan out whether it's a timeline on the website or in the Discord somewhere.
I think that's an entirely fair note, and that's something that we can work on too. Just given,
not something we can. We are working on that. I mean, right now, with this year coming up, we have a lot of things that we've put into place and that are going to be announced here in a short while. I know, I can't say everything right this second, but we do thank you for your patience as we kind of line these things up. And like what Skyhopper's saying here, we do bring everything into consideration, like how this affects, our Genesis holders, and making sure we're making the best steps forward for you all, because the support from you guys has enabled us to get to where we want to get. So, short answer is absolutely. Hard dates coming soon, and it's not going to just be one announcement. There's going to be a handful of things that are going to start rolling out next with this month and the months to come.
Yeah, that's a funny one. Hard dates coming soon. When are hard dates coming? Yeah. So the other thing is, we're always.
Well, did you say GDC?
Yeah. All
right. Good. Yeah.
One of the things that we are really cognizant of as well is like we may often have put a date out and then we have a really cool idea that we want to integrate. That might mean it needs to get pushed out, and sometimes we want to get in the habit of under promising and over delivering, and I think we do that a lot, but we want to get even better on that, and we don't want to necessarily miss anything or have any delays, but sometimes we want to make things even better and bigger and have other ideas we want to play in. So sometimes, rightly or wrongly so, that can often cause delays and be one of the reasons why we're not always kind of pinpoint on time and date something's going to come out, very lots of months in advance, because as a studio and as individuals who are constantly giving their all to deliver and wanting to be the best at what we do and wanting to have the best quality out there, sometimes certain things can slip. However, that might not necessarily be a good excuse either.
Oh, and also things do ebb and flow, like Skyhopper's saying. But right now, what we have lined up for this year are hard dates. GDC being the first, but what's coming on, after that is exactly, some stuff that we will be able to share that's that all correlates to game, to you guys, to tokens, to all the stuff that we've been working so hard to perfect, get out there. We've been talking about that 2023 is the year for hooligans. Yes, it's the year of the rabbits, year of the hooligan, but it really is our breakout year in so many different ways. Yes, last year was a great year for us. This year's where we really get to hit our stride.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, we've got a few speakers in the house now, so I'm gonna open the room. So if you want to speak, you want to get some stuff out, let's hear from you. And just before you do that, we are in the process of updating the roadmap and the white paper too. So all those dates and milestones will be on there very clearly.
Hey, Skyhopper, I'll jump in on a couple real quick while you're loading the stage if you want. On your OG benefits, I'll throw a couple out. I think you guys do an awesome job with token accumulation. That's a huge benefit for OG holders, like being able to, stake carrots and get carrots. I love the priority minting piece that you do. I'd love to see more of that, like if they're in future releases, like that. And you guys always take care of us in terms of like having unlimited, minting options. So for the OG folks, that's super helpful. So I do want to make sure I hit on a couple of things that are super appreciated already. But some things that, we might, that I think you're on your roadmap that I'm looking forward to are, an OG benefit for me would be like when you get into marketplace and storefronts or land sales, or in the rabbit hole. For example, we've got a lot of really cool content creators, custom creators, like people who want to maybe design some t-shirts or hula, or physical apparel, or as well as digital apparel. Like if we get to the point where we're customizing the rabbits, in game or hats or things like that, like digital storefront, totally. Like being a gate pass to, you got to be an OG holder to get a storefront. That would be a huge piece, you know what I mean? Or to get store access. Anything. Also special access to like that. If you're an OG holder, you get access to all areas, of the rabbit hole. That would be, a differentiator for us, for those who are kind of OG holders, to make sure that we maybe have access to some private clubs or a private area that's, holder only, that are token gated. That would be cool. I love how you give us first access, to the games. I would love for OG to get, a 1 week special preview, pass to before it's released to everybody else. You know what I mean? Like another benefit to owning an OG. Another one is like badges or perks in game, like being able to be an OG recognized holder, maybe a glow, maybe whatever in the rabbit hole. I feels like, being token gated with an OG with a pass, right now we get to go in and we're custom, we're colored. And I love how you guys are differentiating generic, non-token holders versus, token holders. So I'd stay on that path. Eventually, I'd love to, OGs to have access to special DAO voting rights, for any type of development or kind of when you want input from the community on something to vote. Also custom merch, as an OG holder, being able to have some kind of custom merch or even pre-access to mobile. So those are some things I just throw out there. Maybe you can collab or build on or throw out, but those are things that I think you kind of were already in your plan that I'm excited for as an OG or Genesis holder.
Yeah, most definitely. So, I mean, I will say we're working on all those things and more, actually. I think you're going to be really excited. We've got some really good, cool things that are very on brand for token gated access within the game, for creators. So we do want to really kind of push the kind of creator economy for OGs and allow OGs to sell things they've created, or, perks, weapons, skins. They will have to go through a process at the studio as well to ensure that it's all compatible. But we do want to open up all that as well. Having private kind of clubs. We got something cool coming. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
I will say too, because I know some you and I have both specifically, talked about that specifically and covered that. And actually, just yesterday we made a couple of developments that I'm not going to say specifically what that is, but on that note, we've got some stuff we're going to be sharing with you guys soon. I'll talk to you about that.
I don't like to not say what it specifically is, because I really want to. But I just don't want anybody else thinking any ideas right now.
Specifically, not going to say, but yeah.
I know there's other people. This is recorded right now. I don't want all our alpha and ideas going out there. We gotta keep some stuff in the bag.
I know that we and that's something that you've brought to our attention, and we've actually got some improvements there. So
just double backing on all that. So. Definitely a creator economy, definitely an opportunity for OGs to be able to sell stuff. Definitely private areas, including one in particular one. I gave NFTs a bit of alpha on it earlier. Definitely protected traits and accessories. So definitely a way for OG holders to stand out more.
Yep.
Definitely a way for OG holders to get more value out of some of the benefits that we're going to deliver, and some that are very specific and only for OG holders without kind of going more into it. So definitely hitting all those notes.
We've also got a quick question that had just come up about our PS5 roadmap. We do have a roadmap there. We don't have any specific dates as of yet, but we do have that in development. And once we're a little further along the trend, that guys.
All right.
Xbox is up first. Xbox will be up.
Xbox is up first. We just got that shouted out to. Right, I'm gonna have to remove one.
Anybody from Sony is in the spaces. Hit us up.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to remove one speaker to bring on another. So we've got Dr. Waddles in the house. By the way, this is
Dr. Waddles. What up, man?
This is an open session here, so yeah, just keep jumping in.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Amazed at what you guys are delivering. Can't wait to game. On that note, so I don't know if this question's been answered, sort of long-winded, but so the soft staking we're earning carrots. Just wondering if that's the governance token, and if it is, will that be released when you guys release the game? And also on that note, how are you going to protect the price of carrot if you guys do have seed investors and everything like that? So when we're playing and stuff and enjoying the game and we're earning carrots, it stays at a very good price for us.
Okay, cool. I can touch on some of that now. So the token is a utility token for the game. It's not a DAO token as it stands. So the S carrots will be convertible for the carrots, which will be the ERC20 utility token for the game. Now, there is a path to more decentralization as time goes on, as is kind of outlined in the orange paper. But from the outset, it won't be a DAO. In terms of kind of protection of price, it's an interesting question. I can't say too much on it as well, because ultimately it's not a security. However, there will be various syncs within the game to ensure that there are mechanisms by which carrots can be spent in and outside of the game to enhance an individual's experience or look, whatever they want from the gameplay. So there will be a marketplace within there. There will be perks. There will be kind of customizations. There will be specific items and access that you can only get using carrots. There will be a specific seasonal pass that you can only get via carrots. So there is a lot of thought and a lot of design going into the use of carrots within the game economy and outside of the game economy to ensure there is actual utility for the token, and there is a use case for the token as well. Ultimately, with a lot of tokens that come out, a lot of ERC20 tokens, some of them have utility, some of them have promised utility that never happens, and a lot of the time it's purely speculative based. What we want to ensure from the outset is that there's actually fundamental utility for this token. It's not just there for the sake of being a token, or for the sake of some speculation and the sake of some trading. It's there to serve a purpose. Because ultimately, if it doesn't serve a purpose, and you're dishing out tokens and there's no reason to use them, you're going to end up just inflating supply, and there's no reason for anybody to actually want them purely other than speculative purposes. So this is, these are items that are really kind of hard at the core of our design. We've already got a lot of that planned out. There's still elements that we're still kind of working through. There's new ideas that we bring into the table, but fundamentally at the heart of the design is supply versus demand, and ensuring where there is supply, there's also demand for the token as well. Ensuring there's a good balance for that.
Just making sure that we're creating, again, one, designing the game in a way that is fundamentally easy to understand and playable, but then also has real utility and syncs built into it for people to to use their carrots. And that's really what it all boils down to.
Yeah. And at this point, we will start to kind of detail out a little bit more of that information as we outline some of the more detailed game design stuff. So maybe in the next release of the orange paper, we'll give you a little bit more detail on that.
And the truth is that something that we're going to be testing those services, right? As we iterate on the game, we'll be constantly kind of putting out new modes in which you'll be able to use carrots. But that's something that's it's fundamental to our design, and that's our general thinking.
And if you run this session back, you'll see at the start of it, I spoke about the kind of token. I spoke about the token round we've done, and the FDV on the token round again. So that'll give you a bit of an indication of where we've started with the token. But for various reasons and various legal reasons, we can't talk too much on some of these things. In particular, anything around price.
That's awesome, man. Amazing answers there. You guys absolutely smashed that. So now I've got a lot of confidence in you guys. Just the last question. You guys are talking about creator economy. I jam a lot of Counter-Strike. I'm sure there's a lot of gamers and stuff in here. Are we able to create our own maps?
You know what? Right at this point, no. However, we were just myself and NFTs. NFTs is one of our strongholders. We've got 27 hooligans in the studio today. We're walking past Kevin Mack's desk, and he was showing us how that's possible and how he's looking to use AI to help with that too, to make it really easy for individuals to create their own kind of environments as well. So there is stuff in the works, but it's not going to happen right this second. It's not going to be in the alpha or beta or maybe even season 1. So there is stuff we're still holding back that'll come later. But yeah, absolutely yes. We want to make this game as cool as possible. We want to ensure that it is flexible and has a flexible architecture where gamers can actually develop within there as well. So that's something that's at the core of our products. What did Kevin say? He said, Fortnite's Fortnite. It's going to be hard for you, for us to say, here's another Fortnite, come and play this, because people are playing Fortnite. But he's like, what we're trying to do is make really cool elements that other games don't have and other experiences don't have, and attract our own user base as well.
Awesome, guys. No, thank you very much. You can kick me off the stage now, but thanks for your answers.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll kick you off when somebody else wants to come on. But yeah, okay, cool. I want to have a little bit more time on this particular item in terms of kind of value for OG holders. And then just before, this is supposed to be an hour session. We've had an hour, but if it goes over, it goes over. I want to get over to idea time as well. And idea time is a literal jam session. I want individuals to get up here, tell us what ideas you've got. It can be anything from game modes to quests to NPCs to story to content to weapons to skins. Like, you just got to throw out any ideas you've got that you want to see implemented, whether you've seen them in another game or you just had the most amazing thought last night before you were going to sleep. Whatever it might be, I want you to have an opportunity to get that at the table as well. But let's give it a few more minutes on kind of OG holders and kind of how you feel.
Hey, Skyhopper, how's it going?
What up, Zugs? Yeah, big shout out to you as well, Zugs, for doing what you do every day.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And I just am impressed that, we have such access to the team. It's just so cool that, you guys interact with the community, and it really does make the project really special. And so with that said, I was just like, on the notion of value for holders, I was thinking, because, in the Discord, there's a kind of a sentiment where they're saying that rarity doesn't matter on your hooligans. So I was wondering if there was a way that we could maybe, increase the, value for, rarity, like the higher rarity, hooligans.
So it's an interesting question. I think we probably explored this a few times as well. It's rarity does not matter in game, right? Rarity as a collectible does matter to some individuals. A rarity as a collectible does not matter to other individuals because they might just like the look of a certain hooligan. So let me give you an example here. It'd probably be a terrible move for us to say in the game certain rare traits have certain power-ups that will give them a competitive advantage in the game, because that then, by giving somebody a competitive advantage, and 6967 will definitely speak on this as well, by giving somebody a competitive advantage that you can pay for, it often can upset players who really you kind of created a pay to win mechanic. So we need to be really kind of cognizant of that in the game. Now, as a collectible, rarity does matter to a lot of individuals that are collectors. However, often we say, rarity isn't always the most important thing, purely on the basis that sometimes you want to choose a PFP, or you want an avatar that represents you as an individual. And, often, I've bought from various projects. I bought whatever, Mutant Apes, Clone X's, etc. I've had some what people would, term blue chip NFTs, and I've very rarely looked at rarity. I've looked more so at what do I like the look of? You know, I kind of like zombies and stuff. So anything like that, zombies, anything's got a bit of a dagger. So it's all on the individual per se. Like, you know, but if there are any ideas where, you know, individuals who do have, you know, more rarer items or, you know, rarer PFPs or digital avatars, if there are any ideas that you have that don't, you know, come at a detriment to competitive gameplay or kind of, you know, instill this pay to win system in, we're definitely kind of, you know, would be interested in exploring that as well. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's not important, and I'm not saying it is the be all and end all of everything.
I could certainly think of a couple things, at least on the incentives and rewards side, for certainly on the content creation side of things that we could probably do in the future there. But as of right now, we're open to ideas.
Yeah, and 6967. I know you might want to jump in here because I know a lot of games have been destroyed when they've had kind of pay to win systems.
Yeah, sure. I was actually eagerly listening to this and also the previous topic. I want to comment on both quickly. Touching first on the previous one, before you guys all forget about that one, I think it was, I don't remember the name who jumped on the stage, but he basically said about the user-generated content tools, and I actually also touched on those with Kevin earlier in the week, and just had this discussion that kind of it's first and foremost important to get this game experience and the foundation of it to where it has to be, so that we can actually like proudly present this to the gamers. Because as you all know, like hopefully you're aware that gamers are not really looking for new game projects all the time, but they just kind of once a year, once every 2 years, they kind of see a really cool trailer, and that catches their attention. And that's kind of where we are going as well, in order to get them to our side, whether it's through the favorite channels they are in, like Twitch and YouTube or something else. But the main thing being that user-generated content tools add massive replayability to each game. Some of you may not know Dota 2, but that game was basically a mod in Warcraft 3, which means that it was like a modification of another game, basically, the original new game. So imagine that in our game, when you enable people to create themselves, whether it's our holders or whether it's the players, someone might just come up with games that are under our IP and become absolute hits. And I think many games are kind of mistreating the players, not rewarding them for doing stuff, but some are giving a small cut for them or something. And I think definitely we can incentivize people into creating. And I like I said earlier, you said also, so it's important to us. I think all of the holders as well as all of the gamers and everyone should be able to create, but it's just it's not the first thing you do. First, you have to create the foundation, and second, the user-generated content tools. And like you described, Kevin said, they have to be like copy-paste kind of easy, so that no one has to know how to code or stuff, because then it's only gonna be like hardcore kind of nerds like myself that are going to be doing those game mods. But we want everyone to be able to do them, so that it's easy creating game modes, creating maps, all kinds of modifications and customizations, and earning from them doesn't sound too bad at all. So now, touching on the second subject, before we forget that one as well, can you repeat that subject once more, Skyper? The question.
Yeah, it was more around kind of, you know, should rarities and Zugs, you look like you got a very rare bunny there. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I definitely want to hear your thoughts as well. But it's more about, should rarity play, you know, a factor in gameplay, or does it then become, you know, because rarer stuff's going to be more expensive, right? Does it then give a competitive advantage to individuals and become more of a kind of play pay to win kind of situation? And how have you seen that affect games? I know there was a big thing with Diablo recently. Like, how have you seen that affect and turn off gamers, if that?
It's really bad situation right now, because you've seen the last 5 years, gaming has gone more around these gaming influencers. In the past, it used to be more like a few pro players and a few select influencers, but now it feels like the entire gaming world runs around influencers and social media. And the current narrative is very strongly against pay to win, and even mobile games and like games that have taken it are kind of despised among gamers. And many, it's almost like a turn off. So when they see these trailers, when they see a new game, and it might look just good for them, but then they read that they can somehow buy something before the game is even starting, get to a certain level or get some competitive advantage, and it turns them off instantly because it's not right for competitive nature. And we have combat and movement mechanical skills in our game where you can improve, get better by practicing and by using your time on the game. So it would feel utmost wrong giving people the access to kind of skip all that and just beat everyone else by using some money. And I don't think anyone wants to see that happen in a game like this. It just doesn't really fit the game concept. And at the same time, the rarity question, by the way, Zach, yeah, you have a whole shit. I love your hoodie. But was going to say that I believe that customization is going to be a huge part of the game, whereas we can find other incentives for the holders, like talking about content creation, talking about overall, like where there are incentives, perhaps there could be some kind of bonuses for the holders when it comes to like making money or earning. It just can't affect the gameplay. But for example, let's imagine that you would get like a 10% cut or 15% cut from each piece of content you create in the game, and some people buy that asset or use that asset, or it gets popular, whatever. But if you were a holder, let's say it would be double or more, or like many times more. Who knows? We have many options there, but I don't think it's impossible to like reward in other ways than just competitive advantage. I think it's honestly super easy. We just have to select the right way so that we don't piss off anyone, because the thing is, the reality is that we will all be happy if our investment is going well, right? I think you can clap in the chat or react in some way if you're happy if the investment goes well and if this ecosystem thrives, because that means like you are winning. But the gamers are the players itself, the customers. We have to get them in order to get there. If we piss them off, we don't really have anything. Then we have a great product, but a great product without users, without the customers bringing in the money, that's not good at all. So I think we know like we have to treat them as well as we can in order to treat our holders and ourselves like as well as we can.
Right, but wouldn't you agree though that we're also serving more than just the gamer profile, right? So our community is built up of lots of different 100%. Folks. So everything's not focused on the gamer. We've also got the casual social experience, people that want to come in and talk to people that want to watch movies.
May I actually talk about that? We actually had something interesting. This is kind of alpha. But
also, Funkies has got his hand up as well, so let's give Funkies a bit of space as well. But yeah, good point. Have some. And sorry, 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
Yo, can you guys? Yes, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hello. Gotta keep my voice down because it's 1 a.m. I'm also from Finland, like my friend 6967.
Big up to Finland.
Yeah, 6967 is also from Finland. I just don't have the accent because I moved from Brazil here. But yeah, before I start, Roger Rabbit sent me a message saying that he has been trying to get up here and couldn't get here. So if you guys could,
Roger Rabbit, I think we let me see the request right now. We do have Travis Dean waiting. I'm going to approve Travis. Roger Rabbit, all I'd suggest is come out of Twitter Spaces or cancel your request and come back in. It is quite buggy still, Twitter Spaces. It's always been like this since its inception. So yeah, do try. We're not ignoring you. I just can't see it on my end, and when I do, I'll let you up. Sorry, go for it, Funkies.
All right. And before I start, I think we should kick Metazukbot from this chat. I noticed he's here.
All right, I'm gonna kick Metazukbot as well. Sorry,
no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. First, I would like to answer Skyhopper's question about OGs, creating value to OGs. I think there's two ways to create value. The one way is the financial way. And the other way is creating like in-game value. Creating financial value is a bit different for me. I think we are already all grinding carrots and by staking our hooligans, and we are. I mean, I bought my 3 of my hooligans for 0.08 ETH from mint, so I'm already I already got financial value from those. But if we want to create in-game value, I think that's also pretty important. And I think it was Hafsam who talked about real estate in the rabbit hole. That's one way to create value, either by giving us OG holders like better placement of real estate in the interloop, or by giving it for free. I don't know. We need to think about that, about how we do it. And another thing I really like about games nowadays, if you play Call of Duty, if you play Fortnite, I think also, they have battle passes, and I really like those. I keep buying those battle passes over and over because I want the cosmetics from the battle passes. I want the double XP from the battle passes. And one way to create value to holders, it would be, for example, if you have an OG Holy, you have unlimited access to battle passes, or you can get battle passes for like 50% discount.
What if you got what if as an OG you got a lifetime battle pass?
Yeah, for example, or either lifetime or a 50% discount, or some other kind of benefit. But I really like the idea of battle passes. So it's a good idea for you guys, for the studio, to keep getting money every season. So you keep making money, but we also as players keep getting new stuff, like new cosmetics, new cool stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely
really like
a big component of what we're doing. And again, like, you know, I mean, I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen, but it could be an easy win that all OGs get a free battle pass for life, right? So you know that's also something to explore as well. So no, definitely you're hitting some right marks there, and so is Havsam. I don't know where Havsam's gone, but you know. I value all opinions. Like, we've got to remember as well that, and Havsam always says this, that not every hooligan holder, OG hooligan holder, is simply in it for gaming. You know, they see value in the brand, they see value in the IP, they see value in this as a collectible, they see value in the networks, the tools we're creating. So, you know, that is also a component that we need to always remain cognizant of. And, you know, I do want to explore, Zugs, a little bit more about the kind of rarities thing that you bring up, because it's not the first time it's been brought up. So it is an important thing. And you know, maybe there are some constructs around which we can work and you know, work around that. But it is something that I probably want another session, or maybe next reverse AMA we really kind of go deep into that and get some opinions across the
I
board.
actually have an idea about those, about the rarity tests and stuff as well.
Yeah. And I know Cabo, sorry, Zugs. Cabo, I know you've been waiting, so let's hear from Zugs, then we'll go over to Cabo and Alex.
All right, thanks.
I want to say, like, I wasn't talking about like a pay to play thing. I can't stand that either, and it is going to kill any game that tries it. But I did get some clarity on what was just said, like with the battle passes, like maybe you know, a higher rarity could be a skin in an upcoming you know, battle pass that is like a variation of the OG skin. So just some stuff like that. And I'm going to step off the stage, but thanks so much for posting this. It really does give me some great ideas.
Really appreciate that, Zugs. Go ahead.
Yeah, have you all discussed what about the rental system?
So we have discussed a rental system. That's something that we're going to be sharing more with you guys about also moving forward. But yeah, as far as
not only discuss rentals happening.
Exactly.
And we've spoken to, you know, a couple of individuals who have solutions to help us through that as well.
Yep.
You know, one thing we've got to remember is we don't have to invent every single solution. There's like other kind of, you know, teams and companies that are working on tools to make some of this stuff really easy, that have tested these things, that have put them through, you know, harsh waters. So, you know, we are going to be doing rental. By the way, I stepped out to get some water, and as soon as I come back, I heard the word rental. So yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, that's a big part of what we're doing. And you know, again, you know, as NFT said earlier, you know, NFTs owns 27 hooligans. He said, you know, I can't play with 27 desktop machines, but how do I get value for that? So that's really important. So yes, 100% part of this.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know about the game Pegaxi, Web3 game. They are like mechanical horses that you race.
What's it called again?
Yeah. It's called Pegaxi.
Pigaxi. No, there was another horse racing game.
I just only brought it up because they have a really good rental system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me make a note of it. How do you spell it?
P-E-G-A-X-Y.
Pigaxi. All right, I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a solid solution, but I'm always open to checking out other stuff. So yeah, let's take a look at that as well.
Yeah, because guys, they figured it out already, and if you can save some time, maybe just tapping on their shoulder or something.
Yeah, always open to have those conversations. Yeah. Well, thanks for that.
All right, you're welcome, guys. Appreciate your work too.
Good.
Appreciate you too.
Appreciate you. You're looking cool, by the way, in that profile picture.
Thank you.
You look cooler as a hooligan.
I need to put my hooligan profile pic up here.
All right. What you need to do is send it to Doobie Doo and say, Doobie Doo, can you put some sunglasses on my hooligan? And then you're going to be perfect. And I believe too.
Hey, I can do it.
I'm sure Doobie Doo.
I actually can do it.
Yeah.
I did a mock-up for the gum grenade. I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
Yeah, of course I saw it. I need to learn a bit more about that. And that, you know what? Just stay online because you can explain that to us in the next session. But just before we go off this subject, anybody else? I know we've got a few other speakers here that have not had an opportunity to speak. So come to the table, speak to us. We're still on the topic about OG value. Let's go.
Yeah, I can step down if you need somebody else to get up here.
No. You can just put yourself on mute. We've not got anybody else waiting in the lobby.
Okay, thank you. All
right. Alex, go for it. You've been waiting patiently.
What about?
You can go ahead.
No, it's all you now, brother.
Oh, okay.
Alex.
So I just had an idea about the value for OG holders, and I don't think sometimes it's good not to divide the monetary value or the gameplay advantage, whatever value, or the game story value. Because what we can do is, I'm just pitching this idea just for everyone to think, that OG hooligans, whenever they are in the server, they can host games or they can host quests. So, for example, the OG holder comes into the server, we only have 9K, close to 9K NFTs, and imagine tens of thousands of players playing. So whenever the OG holder comes into the server, he or she can initiate a quest. And this quest can have everyone to have bigger reward for everyone participating. And only OG holder can initiate it. And this quest, for example, can push the lore further or collectively push the story further. Or it's some special drop of some skin which you can get only through participating and winning in this quest. And imagine how people will hunt OG holders. They will wait for OG holder to come in and start this quest for them. And they will, I mean, it can work in favor of OG holders in terms of some reward from amount of free-to-play players participating in your session, but at the same time, it rewards the non-paying, non-OG players by pushing the story. So I think it might be good to just think about it in this direction and probably develop some mechanics around it or some interesting story.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely. And we've already started to develop some of those mechanics in there. So the games team have been developing an architecture by which mini game modes and kind of user generated game modes and quests can be started through the game. So that's been baked into the architecture already. And one of the other concepts that we've really kind of been working on is, and I'm really kind of bullish on this one, I really like this idea, is the ability for like community members to actually say, oh, I want you a one-on-one, or our team versus your team in a death match, and let's put some digital balances on the line for that. I'm not saying that's going to be cash, but that'd be an interesting element of gameplay as well. Like having team versus team with some stuff on the line. That's another concept that we're really kind of working through. But yeah, the architecture on kind of, being able to launch mini games and having access to that has definitely kind of been built in. So fully behind that as well.
All right, I'm done. Thank you for letting me talk.
Thank you, sir. I know Roger Rabbit, you've been trying to get into the chat. We're trying to get you in still. I don't know why you're not coming up, but we're going to remove you, or if you can remove yourself and come back in. I've made West a co-host as well, so hopefully he'll be able to approve you. So we're trying to get that sorted out. Apologies on our end. Okay, cool. All right, we've got a few other individuals who've not spoken yet. Traders Ed, you're on.
I just want to like, as far as OG holders getting value, I just want to say how there's such a great connection between the community and the team. And it's not tokenism, it's fair income, and it's real. The amount of things that have been brought up by the community, and this is more for the people that you look through the Twitter spaces now, and there's a number of different PFPs and different names that we haven't seen in Discord at Reverse AMA, so I welcome those people anyway. But just to let them know that the connection that we have as a community with the team is such a joy to watch, because I'm just a watcher, and just to see the people that have got some really good input to offer the team, that the team takes it on genuinely, looks at it, explores it, and takes it to the nth degree that they can within the plans that you have for the game, and not just the game, but further and wider. I just see that as such great value. I'm in a number of different Discords, and I haven't seen anything like what we've got in our Discord. And the connection that we have as a community and as the team is just something that is going to make sure that this will succeed, because you're listening to people who are gamers, you're listening to people who are explorers, who are content creators, you're listening to them all and you're going to incorporate all that into your plans, and it's just gold. I just love the way that happens in this, and I haven't seen it in any other Discord I've been in, and I just want to let you know that it's gold from our end, but for people that are not part of the community and here in spaces, let them know that it is gold and it's something really worth being a part of, and it's just going to lead to a really successful project, and far and probably well beyond our imagination. So I just want to say thanks, and it's great to see new people. And just for example, like the Reverse AMA, that was the community's idea, and you guys said, yeah, we'll take that on board, and here we are.
Dude, really appreciate that.
Means the world to us. Seriously,
that means a lot to us, man. And it is about, one of the things we spoke about is like player-owned gaming, right? It is about, you are all part of our team together. That's why we're having these discussions. That's why we're open to have these discussions. That's why we're not hiding away, because we have to have these discussions. Sometimes it can be tough. Sometimes we might not have all the answers. You guys probably have more answers than us in some spaces. But it's like, let's work through this together, and let's make sure that together we built something that we're all collectively proud of, and that makes a big impact. We're now speaking from West's account, because for some reason, even though my phone was plugged in, it's turned off, but hence the switch over. So really appreciate the love there. Honestly, that means a lot in itself.
And real quick note too, this is something that we've been thinking about, and this spans over to what Havsum was making a statement about as well, because obviously not all of the users in our community, not all of our community members are gamers, but we're trying to think through ways that we can actually make this game also have social components in it that are similar to our Discord. So it's like, how do we take the fun and the energy that's in our Discord and put it into this digital environment and give you guys tools and kind of creative ways to interact with each other and just shoot the shit and kind of have fun. And then we've actually come up with a couple of fun gamification layers on top of those social loops. But these are things that we're going to be testing out together. So we really appreciate the love there, and thank you for just being part of this with us.
It's just stuff that you deserve. It's just because the connection is just fantastic. So yeah, just for those that are listening in that aren't part of the whole My Pet Hooligan ecosystem, just get yourself a Zuckbot at least and join in, because you will not be disappointed.
Let's go, baby.
Thanks for that. Cheers.
Thank you. There are a few requests. Roger Rabbit Dog. Hello, we can see you on here, but for some reason we can't invite you to speak.
We're working hard to get you in here, but
there was nothing we could do to stop you. That was, what, big shout out to everybody in NFTs for actually suggesting we do it on Twitter Spaces. I think two good things from my end is that people, the community and other individuals that are not necessarily part of the community were in there, and they were very vocal. We had, all types of, I saw a few different PFPs in there as well. So we had people that are not in the Discord in there as well, which is really important. But unfortunately, we got rubbed. I don't know where we were. Where were we at the last point?
We're trying to get Roger Rabbit in.
We're trying to get Roger Rabbit in. We're trying to get Doc in. But yeah, the part of the session that we didn't, and I definitely want to kind of touch on some of those things in next session. But the part of the session we didn't do that I definitely still want to do, and let's
go. Idea jam.
I've got a few.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Roger Rabbit, let's go.
1 2 1.
Let's go.
Let's
talk to us, bro.
I swear to God, Luke, the first time you said, let's get some questions going, I put that hand up and rubbed myself a bunch of times.
Yeah. Were you joining off a PC or were you joining off a phone?
I was on my phone.
Oh, shit. I don't know what happened. So basically, I'm using an Android. West is using an iPhone. So on the Android, it wasn't even showing me that you were requesting. And on West, it did show that you were requesting, but then when we went in to approve it, it didn't give us an option to approve. It just gave us an option to kick you out of there, which we weren't going to do, obviously.
No problem with Marty Talks, though.
No problem with Marty Talks. But yeah, let's talk, brother.
Throughout the day. But yeah, I just had a couple questions. One, some hooligans are entering the game without their items, whether that's glasses, thongs, paint guns. Will these guns be coming in?
Yes, they will. We do know that.
All right, Sir Sweetness, you're gonna have to come over here if you can. We've just got Sir Sweetness. Some of those. What's happening with the items that are not currently spawning in the game? Vape pens.
We're working on them right now.
So they're on the docket. They're being worked on. I've already seen some of them in there. So yeah, it's coming. At least just an idea and question for me is at least if you've got an item, especially if it's like a bong, at least let's be able to smash it over somebody's head.
Yeah.
Or at least take a fat.
One of the things we do have to be very conscious of is rating.
There's
a lot of countries that if there's a bong in it, you're just banned for life.
Right. So we have been kind of maneuvering.
What if it's not like a bong that is you smoke? Illegal substances from it. What if it's a vape? What if it's I mean, what if it's like carrot crush? And carrot crush is really not really a real thing, right?
What we're doing is we're trying to be very, very plan ahead on how we're going to implement it to make sure that if there, when there is a bong in there, it's not going to send off any red flags and block us from, being an international
since we're bringing this game out in an actual game distribution. We're trying to focus on making sure that we're ticking all the boxes that we need to and just taking each next step as carefully as possible. So especially when it comes to our rating, which is something that we've been thinking about trying to kind of get our target mark for. So that said, everybody's items will be
so the answer is yes, the items are going to be in there.
Yeah, exactly.
As in what you can do with it is still
kind of how we
I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's come up a few times already, the bong, and in the ideal world, in my ideal world, you'll be able to take a rip.
What about
either get dazed out or get an extra ability or something.
I still strongly
I'm all about freedom.
I'm still strongly in that corner.
Yeah, we're all still in that corner, so we're going to continue to fight that. And if the ratings people come after us, then
can there be different versions?
And tell me about that paint gun. I need to know about the paint gun. I don't know what my item does.
It's pretty cool.
So
which paint gun?
So the paint gun is
paint spray.
Oh, okay.
The paint gun will operate as very similar to the spray paint.
What else do you want it to do?
Yeah,
this is let's move this.
Okay, you could spray it on the ground and create like a really slippery surface because people jump and try to maneuver themselves around in space.
Great idea.
If you can sabotage the ground, you could sabotage their landing and fuck up their movement.
That's cool.
Something like that. You could do something where it limits visibility, like if it sprays almost like a paintball splatter on your screen, you can see, but you can't, maybe there's slight obstruction to your view or something. Just some thoughts. Next question. For people who have Android, I was talking with people on a space earlier in the week about other options. If you have Android or PC, what content creation tools am I sleeping on right now? If I'm an Android user and a PC user.
What just stuff that's already out there?
Pardon, say again?
Stuff that we're developing or stuff that's just out there anyway?
Stuff that that you guys are developing? Because I know IMI is for iPhone, but what about like Zoom, or is there some other content creation tool I can be using as an Android user and a PC user?
All right. So the PC user, yes, you can use Hooligan right now. As an Android user, IMI are developing the Android compatibility still. There was a bit of a longer way to go with Android just because it didn't have the same kind of complex camera. I don't know the technical term, but it wasn't able to pick up movements like an iPhone is. So that's still being worked on. So it will come to IMI will be made available for Android as well. And in fact, majority of the world probably got Android, right? So it's remiss of us to not have it on Android, because that's probably what's going to blow it up, especially in parts of the world where I think they really resonate with what we've done, where they really want to kind of create content and not necessarily have themselves on camera as well. So I think that's a powerful move for us, and we are working on that still. But in the meantime, Hooligan can be used on a PC, so you can still go on Zoom calls, still link it up to OBS. It still has a facial motion capture in there. We are upgrading all of those tools as well. They were very kind of early versions, but all of that technology is going to be improved, and we have started to work on AI integrations into all of that as well. But that's a road that we've
awesome.
Go through. So
I'll definitely I'll definitely check out Hooligan. I've talked to people like Stacks and JDunk, and they said they'll, get me on the fast track and hook me up with some intel.
Stacks, Spotted Risk, Drop Bear Dad.
We got a lot of awesome content creators for sure. And then last question, I know we talked about the game coming to like Xbox, and we wanted to come to PlayStation. Does that imply that the game will be coming to the marketplaces that Web2 gamers are familiar with? So I'm thinking like Xbox Game Pass, Steam. What are some of the other download platforms?
So as it stands, it's Epic, and another one we're going to announce. Hopefully within the next few weeks. That's a freaking massive one. And Steam, I think we're still in early days with that. Obviously, we all know that Steam had previously, put out pretty much a blanket ban on anything Web3 related. That doesn't mean it's never going to happen.
Oh, wow.
But it's still, and there's reasons why they did that. And often platforms want to maximize revenue and revenue generation and percentages for themselves, and if they can't find a way to be able to actually participate in some of the Web3 revenue, they'll pretty much put a blanket ban on it. However, Epic have found ways to do that. Epic have really embraced it. Epic's one of them. There are a lot of Web3 native launches and platforms out there, that we're speaking to, but they're very kind of Web3 focused. What we're trying to really do is get to the traditional gamers as well. So the two of the main platforms, one of them I've not said yet, but that's one of the big announcements that's coming, are going to really kind of give us a far and wide distribution globally. As for consoles, it's going to be Xbox first. We are speaking to Sony as well. And it could be that Sony comes earlier than that, depending on the conversations we have with Sony, which are really good. Sony have been down to the studio. When was it? Was it earlier in the year, or was it the end of last year? Yeah, a couple weeks ago. Sony Entertainment, Sony Ventures have been in. They'll absolutely love what we're doing. They love what we're doing with the game. They love what we're doing with the IP. So that could be a potential partner in the future as well. But when we release on those platforms, it will be available through their marketplaces too. So we want to go heavy and wide with the push and get it into everybody's hands.
No, that's awesome. That's really sweet. And I'm super excited for the early access of V2 coming out. So obviously that will be available to anyone with a OG Hooligan and anyone with a Zuck bot. I'll definitely be trying to push people picking up MPH assets, because I feel like if we can get people to play with the game just a little bit, that could create some pre-hype before like a big launch. And I would love to generate more conversation around the game. And I think us certainly playing the early access V2 and maybe onboarding some new people to get in there could generate just good visibility, good conversation.
Yeah, definitely. And just to double up on that, we do have a content creator rollout plan as well to get views on it. to get eyes on it. Often that's how games blow up as well. So we've got that aspect, and the partners that we're going to launch with in terms of their platforms, we're really pushing for some high marketing on their side as well. So are we going to get on the homepage? What you're going to do to promote the game, and that's all part of the agreements that we're making with them as well to really kind of get maximum visibility for this. The events that we're going to go to, the networks and connections we're making is all that's massively important to us. Like, there's no point in having a game that nobody knows about, right? It's about let's get it out far and wide, and let's let the world know.
100%. May I give clarity on something, Skyhopper?
Yeah. Also, big shout out 6ix9ine. I know you've been working hard on this.
Thank you, man. Wanted to give clarity on the aspect that have some raised. So definitely, when I talk about gamers, I mean like the large variety of them. There are more tryhard, and then there are the casual gamers. Casual gamers is the absolute biggest market of gamers. My mom, for example, playing on mobile, Farmville, whatever, and there's like such a big market in there, and that's where most games are failing today, especially on PC games, the ones that were like originally made for PC and they're later maybe cross-platform, but they're often making it super hard to take up the game, so that you have to play like first 100 hours before you really get it, and then you start to enjoy it. And it's going to be a lot of fun if you have that 100 hours or 50 hours at first. But most people don't. Most of the casual gamers have like 30 minutes to 1 hour. And for them, you can't just make the most tryhard gamer game modes and hope that they will also enjoy those, which is what many games are focusing on. They have like a smaller niche. But with our IP and the potential that it can conquer the entire fucking world, I think, and I've been saying this past 1 or 2 weeks also to the team, that we have to, and we will have a hook for the casual gamers especially. So you've heard about, Battle Royale and Horde mode and Team Deathmatch. These are much more tryhardy game modes, but there's also so much potential, especially with all these mini games, to really hook the casuals. And imagine adding in the ability that players are able to make and create these game modes and mini games themselves. It's like an endless cycle of new excitement and hype for the casual gamers. And I think more than anything, my Pet Hooligan, I still describe this kind of as a metaverse. Do you guys agree? Because there's so many things to do, and it's so much about the social aspect as well. Give me your opinion, guys.
Yeah, I think that's very much the characterization. Sorry, Skyhopper stepped out for a quick sec, but yeah, obviously, completely agree with you there. 6ix9ine, 6ix7ine, and again, dude, big shouts to you for kind of putting the work in the back end for this for us. We appreciate it immensely and appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, man. Love you too.
Love you too, man.
Thank you to the team for answering all the questions. I appreciate that.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
You can hear you.
Oh, sorry. I didn't want to interrupt. Roger, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying thank you to the team for answering all the questions. And 6ix9ine, 6ix7ine, to your point, man, like, I feel like I've come close to experiencing a metaverse. For me, it was first like Tomb Raider, that seemed massive. And then later on, it was something like Skyrim. And there's been some pretty cool open worlds. And I'm really just excited for this open world. And I know there's going to be Interloop, and it's just going to be really expansive and cool. So yeah, man, I'm really excited. I'll pass the mic.
Amazing to hear that, man.
All right, good stuff. All right, this was supposed to be an hour session. I think we're 1 hour 45 deep, man. So yeah, good stuff. I'm happy to do another quick 15 minutes, and then I don't know if you are.
I'm good. No.
All right, let's keep it going. 10, 15 minutes. So yeah, let's unless anybody doesn't want to speak anymore.
Kevin Johnson in to be like, hey man, all these guys in the chat right now, they all need to be in the movie.
Oh yeah. Everyone, we're gonna take a screenshot now and see. One sec, stay on there. Let me just snip it right now and give Kevin Johnson.
Marty was gonna talk after. Let's let Marty.
Yeah. We gotta get Marty.
All right, go for it, Marty. Whilst I'm taking a screenshot of everybody and feeding it to our scriptwriter.
All right. Thanks for giving me the mic, guys. Appreciate it. I just want to say congratulations on your success so far and everything you guys have done. It's really exciting to see, from the beginning how you guys have progressed, and all the work you put in really shows. The community sees it, and I feel like the reason why our community is so great is because the reflection of the team and all the work you put in. So we see that, and then it really builds and bonds us all together. I know personally I've grown a lot from this community personally, and
thank you.
and it's been a great experience and been awesome to be a part of. And so I want to start with that. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about the game mechanics for Rabbit Hole, and specifically, you guys have previously mentioned that the first and foremost thing is creating a fun game, and I 100% wholeheartedly agree with that. With that said, I know that the FPS genre, it's been kind of played out a lot, and so you have these games coming out that have started to try to invigorate or mix things up to create different elements of gameplay, play different layers to create a fun and challenging and strategic version of the FPS. So you have like Fortnite with the building, and you have like Overwatch with the team strategy and the game modes and things like that. And then you have your traditional games like your CS:GO, the staples in the FPS, right? CS:GO, let's see, Call of Duty, and then you have your like top-down views of their more strategy, like League and things like that. So I was wondering, kind of what is your guys' strategic approach to the FPS genre, where you feel like you could stand out?
I've got some stuff to add here, but we've got Sir Sweetness here as well to jump in. But we've got lots of unique features as well within our experience. And I spoke about it earlier on the Twitter too, that other games do not have, and we're definitely kind of leaning into that, because what I said earlier was, even Kevin Matt said, well, people who play Fortnite are going to want to play Fortnite. Why are they going to want to play this? It's like we have to have things that are differentiators, and that's not only the kind of facial motion capture, the creative tools, the social tools. These are all really important things, the AI that we're developing in. We're also kind of developing that into the framework of the actual gameplay as well, and even in some of the competitive modes. But so Sweetness, jump in.
So in terms of differentiating the actual combat, we are not simply just a shooter. We're a platformer shooter. So every single building you can actually climb onto and form different combat strategies around that. And so that's one of the big differentiators, as well as the sense of humor, right? Most of these shooters are very, very serious, and none of them have the personality that ours has. The other big one is the destruction. That one has actually become one of our favorites inside the studio, because players could be hiding behind a truck, but all of a sudden that truck explodes and you could kill that player, and maybe now their coverage is gone. And so there's just a lot of fun chaos that comes with all of these.
There's that, and there's also such smaller things. We've got the Zuckbots roaming around. Even one thing to explore is that whether they're always roaming around, even in the competitive gameplay modes. There'll be the Zuckbots that'll become companions and be able to kind of help you during gameplay if you're able to collect parts. So there's loads of stuff. There's the social aspects. There's going to be the NPCs that'll give you quests using AI that you're able to talk to. There's a kind of whole heap of stuff. I'm not
and even some of the iterations that we made on that. Take for example, Battle Royale, for example.
Yeah, the Battle Royale is not standard Battle Royale as well. It's got our own twist to it.
That's gonna be fun.
Designed a Hooligan Royale, which is cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of cool differentiators. With third person as well, we're not really FPS, and there's a massive social aspect to this.
Big time.
And what Colin's really kind of big on with this is, he's really pushing on the social side. So we've got the individuals who are pushing on the combat side and the social side as well. One of his things is it's about the actual player. It's about the character of the player. It's about the fact that you can actually pilot and be your individual. And these characters are not expressionless, lifeless individuals. They all can have life. You're essentially empowering the character.
Piloting your character,
empowering them. And that's something that's very unique to what we're doing as well. So there are a lot of really kind of unique and cool things. And I think will really kind of differentiate us in the space as well. Like, to say it's just a shooter, it's not it for us. It's a lot more than that. It is a social experience. It is the ability, eventually, as we spoke about, to be able for us to actually build on top of it as well. It is the ability for us to actually be part of a creator economy as well. So,
and experiment with these things moving forward, right? I mean, because we want to contribute to the genre and do so in a way that's unique to what we feel we can contribute. We, when we think about the hook of this game, it is largely, as Sir Sweetness said, largely driven by the attitude, the humor, the character design, the aesthetic that we bring here. So we're trying to kind of make each of those flourishes really matter in something like Battle Royale
everyone knows the story.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the story about Fortnite. Fortnite didn't start off as a game that you were kind of building on, and so that came out of it.
They kind of iterated to their product market fit, and
exactly
double clicked on
that was working. But yeah, hopefully that answers the question. But yeah, that's definitely always in mind. We're not trying to create a game that already exists and just put a Web3 badge on it. That's a pure failure. That's never going to happen. Like, why is it going to move from your game, a traditional game, a game that has been in development for fucking 10, 20, 30 years, and jump into your game just because it's got a Web3 badge on it? Absolutely not going to happen. That's my takeaway from when I see, this is no disrespect to any game coming up because there's some really cool ones, but a lot of games in the Web3 space are literally trying to be carbon copies of other games already in the Web2 space, but just with the Web3 badge on it. And I can't see how that encourages anybody to either move over to it or try it.
Yeah, it's usually
less market.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Precisely.
So that's why we're trying to come up with something.
You guys are kind of taking the spirit of Web3 and incorporating that into the gameplay mechanics.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a new, fresh game with some Web3 in the hood. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I
okay.
know that actually.
I had some suggestions or some things that maybe previously touched on by other community members. Like as far as rarity goes, I was thinking, of course, in-game advantages would be horrible, right? The pay-to-play type things, that's pretty bad overall for gaming. But I was thinking maybe a win-win for everyone. People that have rarity go for rare traits or want to spend more money on rare collectors. I do agree for mostly it's just a collector's item, right? And people will pay for that, especially as the IP and the brand grows and becomes more popular. But I was thinking it'd also benefit maybe the awareness campaigns for My Pet Hooligan if you could show off some of the rare traits in maybe different marketing media. That way people could see the really cool looking hoolies that kind of are rare, and they can kind of see them in action type thing. So it'd be good for the brand, and be also good for the holders who have those rare traits.
That's a good shout. Yeah, there are constructs that we I'm not sure how this completely relates yet, but we have got billboards in the game. We are going to have, like Carl's been talking a lot about this. What's that thing called in Nevada? Is it Nevada with the faces in the mountain?
So it's not Nevada.
Yeah, you're talking about Rushmore. Yeah. Where is it?
South Dakota.
South Dakota. I don't know, dude. I'm from here.
Honestly, in fairness, I don't know where it is either. So
I haven't been there. I haven't been there yet. All right, sorry. I hope this isn't recorded, X. Yeah, people think I'm silly. But yeah, we're also thinking like. Carl's been looking at, can we have like a Mount Rushmore or kind of like statue that
kind of like a Stonehenge.
The top players or certain, individuals can be represented on every week.
Yes,
that's a kind of fixture. So maybe there's something there that we could play on. But yeah, I know NFTs was just spitballing an idea there about specific game mode for.
Yeah, it's like a different game mode where the better rarity you are, maybe you have more HP. It would be something crazy. Or if you're like the number 1 ranked Hooli, you'd have like 1,000 HP, and everyone else is like, some people have like 10 HP or 100 HP or whatever. Something crazy, like would not earn tokens, but would just be like,
you just get
this is show off, and you can be
kill the top right. So it's definitely it's definitely something we've got to explore a bit more.
And then one last suggestion or kind of idea. It's not a suggestion, it's just an idea. It'd be cool, to have. Well, I do have a question too, but I'll save it after this. It's a really quick question. But I think it'd be really cool to have like a Hooli arcade. Maybe you could partner with some other licensing. So what I mean by the Hooli arcade, it'd be cool to take some classic casual games, like maybe some ID, like Quake, but instead of the skins from Quake, it's a Hooli. It's a Hooligan. Is this
right? Yeah. So
Hooli themed. It's like Hooli themed. In their world, it's kind of like their classic gaming, but reimagined. Of course, you have to get the intellectual property.
Cool Pac-Man.
Yeah. No, definitely. So we have got a Hooli arcade, but you can't go into it yet. But that's one of the premises for it existing.
Yeah,
it's like and it won't be ready for alpha, it won't be ready for beta, and we don't know if it's going to be ready for season 1, but it's something we want in there. And the land is the ability for you to go into this arcade and have a selection of arcade games you can play and jump into. Screen Rule essentially become that. I didn't know Quake was a pretty hardcore game from what I remember.
And we do have elements of this kind of like global idea already in the game, but it's something that we're going to iterate on over time. Obviously, in Roni's Cafe in there, and Bar and Pub, like the social mini games and social loops and things are probably going to be all in one space. Maybe not necessarily, 100%, but I feel there's a lot of opportunity kind of cross.
This is a way for cross collaboration with other projects as well. And NFT Arcade did it, and they've been developing a fighter game where you could be like a hooligan or a kaiju and a fight. That's the kind of games that I want to see in there. These little very easy kind of simple games that you can just jump into and play and have their own leaderboards as well, like and high point scoring system. So 150%. I'm a massive advocate of that. Again, one of the other things that I'm pushing for is to have some mini games in Romy's pub as well. Like you would have in the pub, like playing darts, chess. Maybe poker. Maybe in the Don Julione's casino. Don Julione. These are all massive components, especially just somebody who casually just wants to jump in and have a bit of fun, and it also helps with the social aspect of the game as well. So 100%. We should have games within the game, games within a game within a game. So a game within a game within a game within a game.
And then I was thinking it'd be cool to have maybe in-game. It'd be cool to have in-game user created shops. Maybe people could spend their carrots a tattoo shop where someone can upload their images and they could tattoo other hooligans and you can get that on your skin. I don't know, that'd be pretty cool. But
Wes just writing that one down. That's cool as well. And the other thing is, we've got the Roni's Bar. There's a lot of ideas. I've gone through a lot of ideas, like with the stand-up comedian, with the stuff in the theatre, with content coming in the theatre, being able to buy a pack of tomatoes and flowers, and having a meter, being able to tip the barman, or bar lady, or bar person, being able to throw some carrots out for a joke from the comedian up there having a comedy hour. There's loads and loads of stuff that we're working on and want to work into this game.
Awesome. And then my last question for you guys. Is the combat, just trying to wrap my head around this, and sorry if this has been asked before, but is the combat mode, is that different from Interloop, or is it just a game mode, like the game mode?
So let me just explain this a bit more. So Interloop, the easiest and most simple way of describing this is, I'm going to describe it in two ways. So let me just start this way. So imagine a honeycomb. In a honeycomb, you have various pieces of the honeycomb, right? But they're all somewhat kind of interlinked, but also somewhat their own thing. So imagine the rabbit hole being one piece of a honeycomb, and the other piece of the honeycomb are different games, different experiences, social experiences, distribution experiences, shopping experiences. So to take that one, but you'll be able to go as your digital identity to any of these different experiences, right? So, let me take it one step further to explain it even more. So imagine going down, being in Disneyland. In Disneyland, you can choose to go on probably a number of different rides. You can choose to just socialize in the park. You can choose to go to the theater, or you can choose to go to the shop. That's what we see Interloop as, is you're that individual that can go and access all these experiences. And one of those experiences, one of those rides is the rabbit hole. And that's what we, as AMGI Studios, is our core development, is our core game, and that's what we're pushing all our weight behind. The other Autoverses, so the other elements, the other experiences, we're going to invite others to develop. Some we may help where it's beneficial for the brand,
or something like that.
But in a lot of cases, it's going to be, here's your opportunity to use the tools and technologies and SDK and framework we've got to develop your own experience in here in Unreal 5. And what we are going to be doing is backing that up with an asset and service-based marketplace as well. So, if you've got an idea for an experience and you don't know how to develop it, then, we'll have a service marketplace as well where you can actually contract or get engaged with somebody who can help you develop it as well. So that's a bigger vision, but essentially we're proving out concepts and building some of those concepts into the rabbit hole that can be kind of then brought into Interloop. But we're taking the approach of showing them proving first, and not just being out there and saying, "Oh, go mint your multiverse or lands, and here's 100,000 pieces of land, go mint them because we're going to build this." No, we're showing and proving and developing first, and then we'll work out the best approach in which to distribute elements of Interloop, and obviously as part of that we'll need to look after all the OG hooligans.
Precisely right. So Interloop is our long-term metaverse infrastructure plan, and we've been building the rabbit hole essentially like in a modular system. So everything we build out will be able to then iterate on and replicate in other omniverses. So it's a long-term play, but that is something that we're constantly, as we're designing and figuring things out in the rabbit hole, we're thinking about what the long-term implications of these frameworks could be in the future.
Yeah, and we want it to be something fun. We want it to have activity, because ultimately there is stuff like, I'm not going to name drop anybody, but we all know there's a couple of big name in inverted commas and metaverses out there that have a huge market cap, they have a huge amount of attention, they have loads of brands involved, and nobody actually goes in there. I ain't mentioning any names, but we all know who they are, and it's like the reason why they don't go in there, and I've been in there, is because you can't do anything but walk about and talk. And that's about it.
Yeah.
That's not fun. That doesn't really always help you develop relationships and help you develop friendships and, give you a reason to come back. It's like, okay, cool, I've walked around for a bit. What else do I do? So that's not what we're trying to create. We're trying to create actual fun activities and activities that people can bond over, that people can get involved in, that provide a reason to come back, and that's what the Interloop, the core principles and tenets behind the Interloop are.
That's why we believe so fundamentally.
Sorry,
is a land sale part of Interloop? So when there is a land sale, would that be connected to the Interloop in one of those honeycombs? So each
it's land sale, but we're not there yet. We're not there. We've got it's some time away, but as part of that, if there is a land sale or two-verse sale, as always, the OG hooligans are going to need to be looked after, and that's not necessarily meaning you're going to get whitelist, and hopefully you'll be getting a free claim for that. But
Marty,
well, that's all I had to talk about. Pass the mic on to someone else. Thanks for your time, guys. As always, keep the good work and looking forward to
and we're 4 minutes past 4 now, so that's a good 2-hour session we've done. So hopefully you can give us some leave now, and we can get some of our activities, please. If everybody's up for letting us.
Marty just took 10 minutes, man.
Yeah, no. All right.
All he does is talk.
Wow, you just took the last 10 minutes. All right.
I wanted to answer to Marty's questions if possible. Just two short answers. Okay. So first, the rarity thing. How are you guys feeling about? Because in my head, we should have a way that when the influencers and all the the famous people see our IP popping off in the real life, when they see this brand thriving, I think there should be a way that we can benefit from that as OG holders. Either that be that our characters in the game are so fucking dope that everyone literally drools on them and wants to buy one from one of us, or it might be that there's a separate super rare item that each of us gets and it has the same effect. But I think once we thrive, that should be the way we benefit as holders, and it's easy to do. Kind of as a cosmetic item, sell to the really, really rich people. And it's not anything else than status to them. But I've seen that happen. I talked about it 1 year ago, Marty, in here. And already then people kind of understood that it's actually going to go this way. So if we become super popular, we have to have a way for the, I would say, ultra rich or ultra famous to somehow gain their status here. And it could be buying a hooligan from one of us that looks just super different. Maybe if some don't look as good as others, there could be upgrades or something, potentially. Or we could just give each of the holders a separate, super fucking cool, rare item that gives status to whoever buys it off from us.
Hey, I'm okay with you. You guys can buy my rare hooligans from me, and you guys can give them to celebrities. I'm okay with that.
All right.
You know what I was thinking last night? Kim Kardashian's opened a private equity firm, man. We need to get hold of her.
100%. But the second question you had, I wanted to touch this. You asked about the game mechanics, and actually Search Witness gave a good explanation. I just wanted to make it super clear that, first of all, it's a third-person platformer, and it's the escape from reality, whereas let's look at CSGO or Call of Duty, they are the literal reality. They are trying to be realistic, right? So for us, it's more like people who come from home, they come from work, and this is the rabbit hole, the escape from reality for them, right? That's how I see the entire game and the mechanics we design. Right. And also, you talked about Quake, right? You mentioned Quake. So
yeah, that was one of my first PS games that I've ever played, or like first person.
100%. And Team Fortress 2 or Team Fortress originally was based on that. I believe it was a mod actually, like the soldier movement in Team Fortress 2 was a mod based on Quake. And that's again like a game with fantastic movement. And then when I go into the rabbit hole and I have all these gamers that come from kind of TF2 background as well, many of them, they are feeling like this is the first game for a very long time that has that kind of special movement. And I hope we can keep improving it more. It's just a matter of how much time, resources, and so on you have, because developing the greatest movement ever takes a lot of time, as you probably know, since you come from, Quake and CSGO and so on, if I remember right. But I promise it's going to be something special. And Marty, I'd love to also connect with you, since I just remembered you're a gamer.
Yeah, I've been playing games since like the mid 90s now. So, and I've been a gamer ever since. So I kind of grown up with them all and kind of seen them all improve over time, and how each generation basically has their staple game, and it brings something different to the table, so I could see the rabbit hole being that staple game for the next generation.
Let's go.
And guys, real quick,
we got to go over here, but I want to hear from Matt. And then as long as we're excused, you guys
crack on. Keep going.
No, one thing I wanted to touch on was, I'm more of an explorer, and obviously this is going to be in the future, but the Web3 crowd, you've seen more and more individuals like Stacks and people out there, they're building their own environments in UE5. And I don't see any reason why that just isn't going to get more and more popular. So just like we have individuals drawing graffiti, and we love that. I mean, once we get outside of Hooli Town, I don't know what's going to be out there, but I see a big possibility for you to take things that people have built and give them, their own space, to just like they do in Minecraft. I think I saw Victor, he built this huge tower in Minecraft, and just crazy stuff like you see at Burning Man in Nevada, where you can just walk around for hours and you just stumble on crazy things that people have built. So
yeah, I just think great suggestion there. Definitely, I kind of touched on it earlier. That's something that Carl and Kevin are really passionate about as well. Is like, how do we put some power in the players' hands as well,
for the things that they're creating, and then also on top of that, as well as exploration modes and pieces. I know that's something that's very close to Carl's heart, and something that he's pretty determined to implement.
We've got to remember we're all different individuals and have different needs and requirements, right? Within a game, like most times, like an open world myself, like I just want to get the game done and play it and play through story mode. Single player. I like story. I like to just know where I'm going to go and go there. Like when I can get lost and go back on myself and not go, I normally just don't know where to go after that. So
there's a guy out there on Twitter right now, and he's building like the other side's world, and half the people think that is the other side.
Yeah, it
but it's
cool,
not. It's just one guy building his own environment.
I did the 4-8 runner.
Yeah, it's pretty
Shout
cool.
out, right?
Shout out. All right, cool. Hopefully we can be dismissed now. But very open for you to all keep the conversation going. Back to you, 6ix9ine.
No. I think I have to let you guys go. I just wanted to make sure everyone got their questions answered. And I don't know. I was super hyped about the idea of just making sure that the holders have something so unique and special that others don't have in the rabbit hole itself, because I have the feeling like some of the characters, if we didn't have a like extra rare item, but we only had the hooligan characters, then some of them are like super cool looking, and while others are like a bit more basic, and someone might get similar looks in customization. So that's why I was thinking of what if instead, we would keep these characters kind of as the proof of ownership that we are investors here, and then on besides that, we would have like these extra rare items or extra rare skins, maybe 10 different types of some elementals or something that like are divided randomly between all the holders, and maybe through the rarity of the hooligans or something, the same rarities that these items have, and they would be something that no one will ever be able to buy from the they will not be able to earn them in game, but only buy from us.
NFT's just made a good point that we've got hoverboards. Remember those hoverboards?
Yeah, those as well.
That's it. That's the only hoverboards out there. Sorry, Sir Sweetness.
I can also comment on
another point on that. I mean, if you look at Hooli, he's probably the least rare hooligan out there.
It's true.
But yeah, he's probably the most valuable. So some of it is in our hands. But yeah, I don't want somebody out there. I mean, I'm pretty basic. I've just got a red T-shirt and a brown hat, and
and a big hammer.
And a big hammer.
All right, sorry, go for it, Sir Sweetness.
So one of the things that we're doing with the cosmetics is we're trying to make sure that it's not the same items that are in the actual NFTs. So even though there will be free-to-play players, they won't actually have the same stuff.
We spoke about that. The OG traits and accessories, and they're all protected.
Yeah, and also one of the fun things too is that we're building in-game assets that will also complete some of your hooligan looks. For example, there's going to be samurai armor to match the samurai helmet, but only the NFT owners will actually have the helmet itself.
There you go.
So yeah, we're definitely doing things to help complete the look.
All right, there you go. And with that, I'm sorry, but we have to leave. But hopefully that was that was a really good session. I don't know. Just before we do leave, any commentary on whether you preferred it on Twitter or not? I know Twitter Rug does, but it was a long session as well. Like, was it valuable?
Pretty
how do you feel about it?
I kind of dug the spaces, honestly.
You dug it, yeah?
Yeah.
I think it was good. I mean, there was a lot of people I don't know in there. Not a ton, but even if you just get a few each time, I think it's good.
It's true. All right, that's the play then. Let's go. All right. Any final words from you, NFTs?
No. Just come visit the studio.
Yeah, come visit the studio. By the way, so this is a very unique holder benefit. I picked up NFTs from LAX and brought him to the studio, and then I take him out for dinner as well, and then drop him off. There you go. You don't get that with any other.
Are you also buying him drinks? Just want to make sure.
Sounds like a date. No drinks.
No drinks.
She'll be like, you didn't take me anywhere on my anniversary. All right. Thank you all, and speak soon.
Appreciate and love you all, guys.
Peace.
Thank you for all your.
This was amazing.
You're amazing, 6ix9ine.
You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing.
All right. Peace.
See you, everyone. This was fucking amazing. Feeling so good.
Yes, it was. You rock, dude. I'll catch you later.
Oh, you, man. Better ask your advice soon again. We haven't catched up in a while, man. Honestly, I miss your leadership advice. I'm not gonna lie. So we should maybe have a call soon. A short one if you have time.
Yeah, man. Let's do that, dude. Honestly, we'll connect. We will.
Yeah, I would love some advice from someone a bit wiser and experienced. So if you don't mind.
Man, it's okay. You can call me old. I'm good.
Okay, I'll give you a ring soon enough. Not today, but when I'm more awake. See you, man.
Do that, man. Take care.
Same, man.